transmission, May 3rd, 2015. I am your host, Alex Jones. We'll be here, Lord willing, the next 2 hours. I say this pretty much every show now at the beginning because all I do is just go with the truth and what I'm thinking. Every show, by the time we have a new broadcast, the news is just heavier, more hardcore, more over the top, more serious, more legendary, more epic than I even feel worthy to be here covering. I just have brainstorm after brainstorm with all the different angles and all the things that I'm experiencing, tracking the news, but also personally witnessing out in the public. I was downtown visiting a friend, having dinner in their high-rise, and I heard chanting out in the street, and there was probably 150 mainly communists with red flags and hammers and sickles marching. I went down and got some video of it, and that video is up on Infowars.com. And that caused an explosion of thoughts and connections. And then I went with some friends to Barton Springs last night at about 7:30, 8 o'clock at night to swim. And not once, but twice, had black people come up to me and threaten me. Just for no reason. I'm just sitting there on the grass, not even talking, with the basically full moon out, watching bats fly around and drink water. They fly over and take a scoop. And the first time it happened, I said, that's unbelievable. It shows the manipulation, the racial division of what the Democratic Party has done and engineered. And then we were leaving, and I said, watch, I think it's going to happen again. And sure enough, the racial comments were made and the teeth were bared, and I wasn't afraid. I was just like, man, am I going to have to beat up some 20-something-year-olds? I sure hope I still got what it takes. But I didn't even hate them. It was just so screwed up. This country is so screwed up. There's communist parades, and I can't go to Barton Springs. In America. It's unbelievable. There's a mainstream news article admitting that George Soros is pushing to raise middle-class taxes, but he himself is exempt and got Bush to sign legislation to do it. That's in the street. I got a New York Times article where rules change on IRS seizures too late for some, where they just take innocent people's bank accounts, no judge, no jury. They're not changing the rules. They're just saying that. It's still up to their interpretation. We got some good news. This is why I say it's over the top today. Sometimes I'm so close to a problem that I don't realize when we're having a massive effect. There's another huge sign of major political fundamental realignment that's happened. That's Ted Cruz, that's Governor Abbott, and others coming out and saying they're concerned about Jade Helm. And saying it's because we can't trust the federal government, which is true. Federal government's not even there. It's been seized. I had not one but two people come up to me yesterday, one at Chewy's Mexican food restaurant after Barton Springs, and another on the street who don't even really listen routinely, asking me if I heard about Jade Helm and the planned invasion takeover. And I had to correct them that it's not a takeover. Wars.com on the video streams and on the free podcast and audio streams as well. Please never forget, the system is trying to restrict us, censor us, shut us up on every front. And that's because we're having an effect. We're growing very fast. We're at the very tip of the spear. And before I get to any of the epic news we're going to be breaking down today, Alexa.com, an Amazon.com company, until about 6 months ago, and WorldNet Daily wrote about this a few months ago, was extremely accurate because we have Google Analytics, we have our internal server logs, and we found that Alexa was right on line with true traffic to our websites. They delisted libertarian and conservative sites artificially 6 months ago, and if you go to Alexa.com and type in Infowars.com, you see our traffic plunged by 60% 6 months ago. You enter drudgereport.com, you see it plunge by 60% or more, 80%. You type in WorldNet Daily, same deal, Daily Caller. You type in MSNBC, CNN, it's the opposite. And here's the difference. We subscribe to the full Google panel, and we're able to look at the basic analytics of CNN, of MSNBC. It's an inverse. They're plunging, we're exploding, but the ratings have been inverted. So I'm gonna call Watson tonight, and I want to go back to the WorldNet Daily article that wrote about this a few months ago. We had some of the reporters on about it. They noticed it. But here's the good news. Our sponsors, this is meant to hurt our sponsors. This is the ratings. It's like Gaming, Arbitron, or Nielsen, something that have both been caught for establishment shows. For MSNBC, CNN, they've been caught over and over again with fake ratings. They pay for them. We don't have big corporate sponsors. We have medium-sized American companies, patriot companies, folks like that, construction companies, mining companies, independent, water filter companies. They don't go off Alexa ratings. They go off results. So as your revenue implodes, as the mainstream media dies, and as you desperately try to game the ratings, and it's not just with Alexa, it's across the board. The dirty tricks are exponentially going off the chart right now. I mean, they're coming after us, and it's not working. If you're a TV viewer watching the streams at Infowars.com or on some TV and cable systems around the country that carry it, you could just see those graphs. The guys just lifetime went there. 6 months ago, in one day, all of our ratings plunged 60 to 80%. Total fraud. It is fraud. And it doesn't hurt us. That's why you're discredited. Because you game everything. Look at that. You go back to October of last year, so 6 to 7 months ago, and on the same day, Drudge, Infowars, WorldNet Daily, every libertarian viral site. But here's what's crazy. I'm going to give Google screenshots and our internal logs tomorrow to Watson so he can show our internal logs where we're exploding. So in reality, we've won the boxing match. In reality, we won the Daytona 500 or 400 or whatever it is. In reality, we're dominating. They're imploding. And they just go cook the books. You have to understand that this is an organized operation. And the good news is it's not working. The bad news is they're going to keep trying. So we need your prayers, we need your support. We need you to not take this broadcast for granted because they're coming after us. And do you know why they're coming after us? Whether it's drones or the billions of bullets or the emergency FEMA camps or the preparations to attack the Tea Party and veterans or the veterans' secret death list and don't treat list or the border being wide open and the Border Patrol completing the smuggling process, in their words to us, and then telling us where to go to show where they're ordered to load the illegals on and pay for their vouchers. We're breaking mega massive news every week that becomes national and international top stories. Infowars.com 5 weeks ago broke Jade Helm. Hundreds of articles a day, sometimes over 500. On average, over 200. Every television system, ABC, CBS, NBC, Fox, CNN, all of them last week attacked yours truly by name and lied about me. And said that I said that martial law was coming this summer and that Obama was going to invade Texas with Jade Helm. And they've put the hoax out now, and people are coming up to me on the street saying, is it true martial law is coming? Have you heard about this? They don't even know that we're where the story came from. They're asking me, is it true? And I'm saying, no, it's incremental. They're not going to take over this summer. Probably. We can never say it completely, but it's part of acclimating and conditioning. Remember, Joe Biggs walks in and goes, look at this Pentagon document, Jade Helm. We go to Army.mil, show folks is on their website. It's just something we cover on the show. Drudge picks it up. It goes viral. They come out and say it's not a real document at first. Then they say, okay, it is real. Then they get caught in all these lies. Now Ted Cruz, Governor Greg Abbott, they're coming out saying The feds have lost the people's trust. We're concerned about this. Then they have all the usual neocons come out, like former lieutenant governors. People woke up to him, David Dewhurst, and go, these people putting this out hate our military and want to blame our troops and say they're criminals. How dare them? I'm going to read the quotes coming up. We never said that. The military's who we get all this from. 90% of the time or more, do you know where I get all this news? Where they're saying the founding fathers wouldn't be welcome in the military and the Tea Party are terrorists and the military's got to fight them and George Washington's bad and Christians are bad. Do you know why we break almost all this news? And the government knows this. The occupational government makes them sick because they're illegitimate criminals. The U.S. Army, #1. Then the Marines. Then the Air Force. Then the Navy. Then the Coast Guard. They can't stand the fact that the military's full of patriots. Why do you think they list them as the #1 enemy? Because they know that they're awake. They know about the transformation. They know they're being trained for treasonous operations. And so now they come out in, no exaggeration, 360-plus articles on Thursday, 200-plus on Friday, 100 and something yesterday, 100-plus today. You can go to Google, type in Alex Jones, Jade Helm, click read all, and it'll show you how many articles that day in the first block, and then the days below it. Thousands of articles a week saying lies about me. They are killing my name right now. But here's the good news for you. It doesn't matter what happens to me. The message will be transmitted. Because the truth goes out there regardless of what you do to an individual. You understand that? And then it's backfiring because people then come to Infowars.com and they actually hear what I have to say. And by the way, if you go to Alexa to see where they've lowered our